after the show, and so the big question today is, do you do something just because you can?
Yeah, what is your daughter asking you not to stop doing, Sam, at the house?
Maddie wants me to stop putting smart bulbs in certain places.
Because?
And also to possibly go back and take a few out. Because I've run out of, I guess what you would say, practical places to put them, like over the mantle and stuff like that. Now I'm just started putting them in little places like closets in the laundry room.
Does every room now have smart bulbs in it in your house?
Not every room, no.
But close to it?
Yeah, there's one room in the back that doesn't. But yeah,
wow.
And it's really starting to. I may have put myself in a little pickle because it's starting to get confusing remembering the names.
Yeah,
because you have to say her name. Turn on the pantry or turn on the laundry room.
Oh, so you've made it confusing. Can't you? Okay. In the future, I suspect this will become turn the light on from wherever you are.
No.
Or turn this light on.
Well, maybe if it knows where you are.
Sure, it will in the future.
If you say now, turn on the light, I have a number of things with that name.
Well, I might be with Maddie on this because, I live with Murphy. We've been married for a long time. And, to me, there are certain things it's like just because you can do it.
Doesn't mean you should.
Do we have to do it?
I haven't.
Our thermostat.
It's funny because Sam and I are very similar on this, but I have not gone the smart bulb route. I've got a handful of things for that reason because it's confusing. But what I think confuses Jody is the grouping of the speakers to play music.
Totally.
That's the one that drives her crazy.
You have to remember.
To me, I'm like, I realize you're in the kitchen, but you should fill the house with sound. If you're in the kitchen, it's right next to the living room. You should tell it to play on the living room because that plays.
If I tell it to just play in one room, you act like I have assaulted you. Why are you listening to it in one room only?
I've gone to all this trouble.
Oh, well, see, now I've done the same thing because they'll come in the kitchen and say, play blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you can have it in the living room and here and on the patio right now if you just say on the house group.
I think you guys
and they look at me like, I don't want it in all those places. I just want it right here.
Why not?
let me tell you a little secret. Something funny. Sometimes when you say something to our smart speaker, whichever one, because we have a couple of them, different,
Well, we do Google and
her.
I know I'm crazy.
When you say something to her and she says something back that's funny, it's like it's new and you're like, hee hee hee. So it's kind of like because you grew up without it and having it now, it is so special to you.
Oh, yeah. The way that somebody's beating on the door here.
I think there's some building going on next door.
So, when you say, and I hate to say Alexa because anybody listening right now probably activated this. So we'll give it a second.
And she'll go, I don't understand.
Right. But the way that she says song titles back, it's hilarious to me. So, yes, I'm amused by it.
You know what you need to do? Ask her to play Panic at the Disco.
Okay.
Because she goes, Panic at the Disco.
Right.
She always does the pause.
Right.
Well, during the Christmas season, she says, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
That's the title.
Even if you just say it once.
She's doing her job. That's the title. I like it.
Yeah. Now, here's something, because Maddie kind of does have a point on some of the,
she does.
Like in the pantry and the laundry room.
Like you're making it more complicated for her.
The reason being, so when I use them now, it's like if I'm in the living room, it's like, hey, Alexa, turn on this light or turn that light off.
Right.
Because I'm there and I'm going to be there for a while. Mm-hmm. When I'm going to the pantry, it's like you walk up and you open the pantry door, and that's when I remember, I got to tell her to turn the light on.
See, I would put a motion sensor light in there.
It's got to be something like that because you open the pantry door and it's like, now, hey, Alexa, and it's like I could have been in and out by now and stopping to tell her to turn it. So it's like, it's almost like, Alexa, turn the laundry room on because I'm in here and I want to use it.
Right.
So at what point does it become that you're complicating things?
Right. It sounds like you are.
I think I have reached I've reached the complication point, I think, now.
Okay, Bailey, you are all about new technology.
Yeah.
I know this, but do you think that's complicating life?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because you're walking into the pantry, you could flip a switch. You're there. You're probably going to be in the pantry for less time than it takes to say,
it's true.
Turn on the lights,
it's true.
Turn off the lights.
Yeah.
And your brain telling your finger to flip that switch is so quick.
Yeah. Additionally, only in pretty much every house that this has been set up in, only one person set that thing up.
Boom.
So the whole family is totally not privy to how it's all set up unless there's like an info sheet written down.
You are so right, Bailey. You are so right.
But by the time you have to read the info sheet and figure it out, again, you could have turned the switch on faster.
And the ones that are in the pantry and stuff now, the kids keep forgetting and they're using the switch. And so they'll walk in and it's like, oh, and they'll turn the switch off. And it's like, then I have to go behind them to turn the switch back on to tell her to turn it off. Yeah,
that's
the
way
more I
too
talk,
much.
the more I hear the problem I've created.
Yes,
that
you
is
have.
the one in the pantry. Do multiple colors also?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, it
at least
can
there's that.
dim. It doesn't do multiple colors.
Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Now, the thing about it is that it's so cool. I'm the first one to sort of fuss, but honestly, if everything that you've set up at our house, I do like it, and once you explain it all, I'm the first one to fuss. Like, for instance, I still can't figure out our thermostat. It's not intuitive to me, and I cannot remember how to turn it off when I'm freezing. And I have to get you. It makes me mad because I'm freezing.
It's not on your phone. You can't just go on your phone and turn it off.
Not me. I don't want that on my phone.
She won't put the Nest app on her phone. I'm like, okay, here's problem
I'm
number
normal.
one.
I want to walk up and raise it up.
The whole purpose of the doorbell that we have and the thermostat thing that we have is that you can control it remotely. And it's actually easier to change on your phone than it is at the dial.
At the dial is confusing.
It doesn't. You can't just go like. Twisted clockwise?
You can, but if you want to turn the air off, it's this round thing, and you got to punch the right thing, and it's not intuitive to me.
What she's saying is if you want to switch from heat to cool or vice versa, you have to go through. There's a menu system, and the menu is you push it in and you turn it, and you go.
And Bailey, you know how patient I am.
Yeah. See, in my totally dumb house, you just have to flip a switch.
Right.
So it's
and
nice.
that's what I want.
That's so
I want
boring.
that simplicity back.
Yeah.
But I know it's not going to happen, and I understand that. Look, I love everything you've set up.
But part of
I just think it's too complicated sometimes.
There is a cost savings for that because if you're not walking down the hall, it's not going to activate. It goes to a temperature preset. It assumes you're not home. And so it's going to raise how many times have we forgot to raise or lower the air/heat, and then you get home, you're like, wait, nobody's been here for 8 hours. Mm-hmm. So it's a money saver. Every time your AC cranks, man, it uses some electricity. So
somebody's reading the brochure.
It's true. It's true. How many times though are we at home and uncomfortable? It's like, oh, nobody's walked in front of it recently. Well, let me go walk in front of it so that it'll do its job.
In my defense, how many times have you said, hey, we're already laying down, can you turn the air off? It's freezing. It's like, yes, let me grab my phone and I'll do that.
That's what I'm saying. And I know you enjoy that. I know you love that.
Yeah, I don't want to go, crazy about it because some of the technology is still not cheap. So I don't want to go overboard.
No.
But
we're not Bill Gates. We don't need a smart house.
Right. I don't need my floor heated for me, but I do like the idea of being able
nice idea.
But I do like the idea of being able to remotely control the heat and the air and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anything that cost money. That's why my obsession with the LED bulbs, like I was talking about earlier for outside, is if you forget and you leave a floodlight on, it's not as big of a deal because you're using 18 watts instead of 120 watts.
Sure. Yeah. And we like a lot of light. So.
Yeah. And that Jody loves it when I start talking like that. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, I'll spare you the tech talk on that.
I'm spending a little extra money up front, but in the long run.
Yeah.
And look, since we're moving this coming weekend,
you taking your bulbs
into the new
with
house,
you?
No. It's probably I am betting that it's going to take you a month and a half to get the house smart ready the way you want, Murphy. With light bulbs and commands and, just you're very particular about all of that. And that's great.
Well, hopefully it will all translate. Mm-hmm. If you want to know the real technical reason, because we're using the same Wi-Fi routers. You follow me, Jody?
Yeah. And a kitchen's a kitchen, a living room's a living room.
Yeah. The only thing I'm going to miss is whatever neighbor it is that's got the FBI van.
Okay. I'm sure there's an FBI van in our new neighborhood. Don't worry.